guess I'll just start it with a little.
Oh, that's not what I meant to
Licensed music, Shannon.
I was trying to play that.
Rise and shine, it's time for D is for drama. That's drama with the D. She puts the D in drama. Her guest will spill the tea. Tune into D is for drama. Gossip's what you need. It's time for D is for drama.
That's drama with a D.
D.
You ate that. No, I love it. It sounds so good.
So good.
Jake with ad libs.
It feels like it does feel like you're a detective a little
Yes.
bit. It feels like you're getting to the bottom of things.
We're
Not
getting-
necessarily just tea, but a mystery.
Yeah,
Oh, we're up to
exactly.
something.
Putting the tea in mystery.
The Mr. D.
Mr. T.
She's up to something.
Miss D and Mr. D. Well, thank you guys for joining me. I am joined by Jakey Tuesday. I know you recognize that voice. And a very special guest, Matt Brown.
Hi.
One of my new best friends, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Not that new at this point.
No,
we've
we've-
been
it's
very
been a
good
few
friends for
years.
well over a year, 2 years now.
Give you perspective. I've been in LA 6 years. We've been good friends for about 2 now.
Okay,
That's
nice.
30% of the
That's
time.
30
That's a third of the time
That's
I've
a
spent
third
here.
of the time here. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, only
My
2?
guy.
So when we did Vapor Days 2 years ago, that was like a brand new friendship?
No, you because
Kinda, we
you
had-
showed up. You and I met probably like 3 or 4 months before Vapor Days 2, and I did invite you to that, but you understandably.
I didn't know Jake like that, and I don't shit where I eat, and I don't do drugs with coworkers I don't know.
Yeah, and that brings us to the topic
I
for
have
today.
a great vibe on Matt very, very quickly. It's one of those of like, I know you and I are going to be very good friends. Why don't you come out to this party that I
Yeah. Wait, but you did go to that one.
No,
I didn't.
went to the third
I was
one.
scared.
Wait, you went to the third one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to the.
No.
Yep.
Really?
It was the last one.
Yeah.
It was the last one.
Oh, okay,
He saved the best for last. I
wow.
showed up and had a time.
Oh.
Remember I did that whole bit where I painted myself as a statue
Yes.
and I had a box? Yeah, dude, I had never done anything like that before in my life. And I was so nervous, but I knew that was the time and place. I was like, if anyone's going to get my
Yes,
gag,
if there's
it's these
anywhere
gals.
to do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, you guys have heard about the desert that Jake throws in the
desert. The entire
the
desert,
desert
that I
that he
create.
throws in the party.
Desert that I throw in the party.
But yeah, so Matt and Jake worked together back in the day.
Tea.
And Jake and I also worked together. So we thought that this would be a perfect topic of don't dip your pen in the company ink, honey. And Matt's got a story for us.
Well, okay, when we were talking about this, I was like, D is for drama. I do love to be messy, but I don't want to stir my own mess. You know, I don't want to dip my pen in this company's ink.
Yeah.
You know? I don't shit where I eat. That's a rule and policy I've always had. Like since I was a teenager and like all through high school and college and stuff, I'm like, I shouldn't hook up with any of my coworkers. That's too messy. It's too problematic. I don't
Yes.
want any problems. I already don't want to be here. I just want my money and to go home.
Yeah, totally.
And so it's like I don't need anything else. But when I first moved to LA, I was working for, we'll say a company, a wellness company. And we had like a delivery service. So there was a back room with inventory and we were like packing delivery orders.
okay.
A couple of my coworkers like were hooking up and they're wonderful people. Love them both down. But nobody else knew except me. In the whole office, nobody knew that these two people were hooking up except me.
Uh-huh.
And
A lot of power.
I know. How did you find out?
okay, so it was a girl and a guy, man and woman. And the woman, we'll call her Cynthia.
Beautiful name.
What?
Cynthia. She's a really cool dancer. Cynthia.
Okay,
Boogie to the groove now.
We'll call her Cynthia, right? And Cynthia had trained me on my first day and we had become good friends. And she and her current partner were living on the road, we'll say. They were just like bebopping around.
Oh, so she was in a relation.
She was. She had a whole man's. And,
Ooh.
right?
I missed that part.
But there were times like where she would come kick it and I lived in the valley and she would come up to the valley for something and she would crash in my place on my couch. Like we were just like coworkers, friends, really cool. It was never like that. She was like big sis to me, right? But her and this guy that we worked with had started canoodling and he was in they were both in long-term relationships. And
boy.
so he didn't know that I knew. And I only knew because she was like big sis and would come crash on my couch and she was like, I don't have anybody else to talk to about this.
Yeah.
Me and this guy have been hooking up.
I feel like she should have talked to somebody not within the company.
Yeah, not connected to it at all.
Because that like kind of makes you liable.
But Matt does have a very disarming way about you. Like
I'm trustworthy.
I feel like I've seen this with a lot of people. Like very quickly, people feel. I mean, it's like me inviting you to that party. Just like it's very quickly of. I feel like you radiate a sense of earnestness, and that earnestness kind of gets over the sense of like, okay, I kind of need to vent about this to somebody, and like I feel like you won't tell anyone about this.
Yeah,
even
no,
if
I
that
wasn't gonna
is
snitch.
fucked up on her part to put you in that awkward situation.
Yeah.
I think that you just, and I think maybe you've kind of learned how to dial that aura back a little bit nowadays. I can imagine when you were younger, it was just like full blast all the time. Like, you can tell me shit.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and come on here to be complimented. I love you so much. I love you guys. Wow. No, but I do feel that, and Cynthia in this moment confided in me, and it was like I was like, oh girl, tea, like oh my gosh, like this is juicy gossip.
Yeah, I would have loved it.
But also like I was seeing how he was moving around her in the workplace, and we all worked together. And the gag of it all is that they were hooking up at work. So like they both had partners that they like went home to, but when they would hook up at work. Or like if their partners were traveling or something, you know, whatever. But like there was a lot of times, and girl, they had it figured out. They were like, okay, so it was like downstairs, upstairs. Upstairs had a lot of boxes. Like I said, we were keeping inventory. And they were like, figured out where they could put the boxes to block the camera. And they was hooking up behind the.
Wow.
No way.
I feel like that's going to great lengths.
Wait, behind the box?
Right, but it's like, girl, you're more or less on camera, but you're not.
Oh, because you're behind a box?
Well, because the box is blocking the camera. So it's like, it's Schrodinger's cat. It's like, is it actually happening? Is it there?
If a tree falls in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
that they were acknowledging that much risk and taking levels to kind of counter it and still ultimately just fucking behind a box on camera.
Was there not noise? On
Okay,
these
so the
cameras?
tea is like I keep saying the tea.
Well,
The
then
story
we do
goes
spill the tea around too.
as I recall, per my recollection, they were just like finding ways to hook up in the workplace, and we're just like we worked really late. Like it would be really weird hours. Like there would be times where we would get a big order in and we would have to process all of this inventory, so we wouldn't leave until like 11, 12, 1. Like there would be late nights and whatever. At one point in time, the place had got remodeled, and so there was a new bathroom, and the bathroom had all new drywall. And I don't know, like anyone out there in construction, anyone out there that knows what I'm talking about. Drywall is like white plaster, and it kind of like
it's like chalky.
It's chalky, and it marks easy, it scuffs easily,
Yes.
right? After the renovations have been done, at one point, like we showed up to work, and there was 2 handprints on the wall. I'm gonna set the mic down so you can see my hands. This, like, on the wall, right? It was like this. So the wall's here, and it's like, and imagine me standing up against the wall, like.
Well, we won't be able to hear you.
Yeah, you gotta get the mic.
Imagine
back up. There
me
you go.
standing, okay, hands up on the wall, like him or her. We don't know.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
don't
yeah,
know. We don't know what was
could've
going
been
down in the
him,
bathroom.
could've been
But like
him.
handprints on the wall here, as if I'm throwing that ass back, like tooting it back, like you don't know what's happening back there. You know what I mean? Maybe he's back there, maybe she's back there,
Yeah,
but
we don't know.
But there's something getting pushed back and something getting pushed up against the wall, and there's these 2 handprints on the wall, right?
Yes.
And we showed up to work like the day after it happened, and everyone's like, "How the fuck did these handprints get on?" Because it was 2 like.
Yeah.
You could tell they were from the
Boom,
same
boom.
person. Yeah. And it was like, damn, what was they doing in here? Like what was they taking a shit? What was they doing? Like, it's wild. Like, why are
With
you
all
have
of
your
their
dirt?
force.
And also, why are your hands so damn dirty? Like, why are you leaving a mark on the wall? Like,
Oh, it
Was
was
it
like
dirty?
It wasn't like
Mhm.
like an imprint on the dust. It was like dirty, dusty.
you want to know my theory?
What?
Oh,
It was the
God.
boxes. You know, you've been working with boxes. I
Oh,
don't know if
yeah.
you guys have ever worked with boxes. You work
yeah,
with boxes
yeah,
all day
yeah.
and shit, like packing material. If you don't have gloves on, you get shit on your hands.
I was gonna
You go to the
guess.
bathroom. So yeah, I'm just saying, 1 + 1 = 2. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck.
Yeah.
But also, I know that they was.
Yeah, you had the
She-
inside track.
She
on the
told me that they
information for
were.
sure.
That they
And
were,
nobody
yeah.
guessed.
Nobody guessed that they were hooking up, and I was.
What was
quiet.
the average age in this team?
I was very young.
Yeah.
I was like 22.
Okay.
Maybe.
How old
Um,
were they?
They were both at least 5 or 6 years older than
Okay,
me.
that
Like,
would have been.
They were both like
Yeah, yeah,
late
yeah.
20s, like definitely post grad, had been out living in the world for a few years.
I feel like 24 24, 29 is kind of the messiest period of like 18 to 22 college age. Yeah,
Sure.
you're out there, you're getting fucking, but it's not messy because you're fucking, you're 18, 22. It's like, exactly.
Well, people give you more of a pass.
Exactly. Yeah. It's
and
like,
you're mainly in college. So
Right.
like everyone just has different standards
you're,
when you're that
you're
Still don't know
starting
better.
to play by 30 and up rules once you get to
Yes.
24, 25.
And people are like, you're not young enough to be doing this.
Yeah.
To be fucking
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Well,
At this
so,
point.
and then he had a girlfriend too, though, right?
Yeah. They got married. I went to their wedding.
Wait, you
What?
did?
Y'all, okay.
When did they stop hooking up?
No,
What
no.
went through your mind when they got to the if anybody has any objections as to why this union should not
Were
exist?
you like,
Was the temptation there?
Okay, so that's a cat. Jake, you're so funny. So it was actually a very like non-traditional wedding. It was really dope. I loved what they did. I loved the interpretation of the whole ceremony. It was like not, I'm from like the South, so everything is rooted in like man takes woman and she is of service to him and his possession. And
yeah, very
you know,
traditional.
it's very traditional, and there's a lot of roles, and you have your ceremony, your speeches, and all that bullshit.
Ever since I met you at the Pi Kappa Phi mixer, I knew I wanted you to make my dinner for the rest of my life.
When I seen you at the family reunion, no, I'm just kidding. I'm not like that. I'm not like that country. No.
Wait,
but,
what state?
I'm from Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
nice,
I'm from
yeah.
Arkansas.
I love your accent.
I'm proudly
So
from
cute.
Arkansas. It is such a politically terrible place, but such a beautiful land, and I have such a
Yeah.
great respect for nature, and I've learned so much about humanity growing up there. It's a place that's like deeply rooted in racism, and like there's a lot of
Bigotry.
There's a lot of bigotry and a lot of like Southern Baptist Bible beaten folks who, you know, just have a hard time accepting those that are different. But there's also a lot of really beautiful people there who didn't have the opportunity to get out and are choosing to live their life there out and proud. And I love and adore those people. Some local queens, some drag queens that I adore. Bazaar, one of my friends I went to high school with. She's amazing. Shout out Bazaar. Shout out. She's wonderful.
That's a great stage name too.
That is great.
Yeah.
What, does she have a last name? Like Bizarre, blah, blah? It's just Bizarre.
Bizarre.
How bizarre.
But she spells it really dope. I don't want to get it wrong, and also I struggle. My dad's dyslexic. I'm gonna say it's
We can
genetic.
plug it.
It's like Baxaer. She's absolutely incredible, and there's like good queer people there. So circle it all back.
Oh, that it was a non-traditional wedding.
Yeah, it was a non-traditional wedding, and it was very like progressive in a lot of regards, and it was mostly about family. And low-key, I don't know where these folks were from. Like, I think they were from like New England or somewhere in like north of the Carolinas, like Yankee money. I don't know nothing about.
Yeah.
It was Yankee money. It was a nice ass wedding.
But this is not the girl that was cheating. This
This
is
was the guy that was
guy
this is
and
the guy
the
that was
girlfriend.
cheating. Yeah,
and they were no longer cheating. I hope. Oh,
so as
the look
as
he just gave me.
as the story goes, allegedly, once they got engaged, he had told Cynthia, like, I can't do this anymore. I've got to like focus on her.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
So it's like once they got engaged, but she had told me that things had been steadily going down the whole time. So it's like, what's the difference? You guys have been together for a fucking decade, and before you weren't engaged, it was okay to cheat on her. And now that you're
know, it's
and
like,
now
how
that
is
you're
it any
engaged, like you were
different?
gonna get married anyway. He had pretty much said like, yeah, this is the person we're gonna be with, and she was wonderful. Like,
I know people
brilliant,
are weird with
beautiful,
that, where it's
genius
like how
girl.
an engagement or a marriage can change anything. Like if you're in a relationship that's committed and monogamous, you have to respect that or don't be in it.
I think the answer to it is that once the law gets involved and you can fuck up your entire life
True.
monetarily by fucking around,
Then you could
when
take it
she can come to
serious.
collect on your
I
ass.
think that they justify it to themselves where it's like, okay, I stopped before it went legal.
Yeah.
So I did stop because if I just stopped when we got married, then I'm entirely just doing it to save my ass.
Try telling that to her.
Yeah.
She's not going to agree. Okay.
Right. Funny part is, Cynthia is now engaged to be married to her longtime partner that she was with during the whole situation. So they both ended up with the people
With
that they
their
started
people.
with. They just casually like hooked up. And this is where, as a queer person, I feel like you should have just communicated it, babes.
Exactly.
You should have just had an open,
Just be
honest,
open
vulnerable
about it.
conversation and really test your compatibility, love, communication, and trust. Figure out if you can take it there. And if you can't, then it ain't what it's supposed to be, or it ain't what you're looking for in this moment, and you gotta come to terms with that and decide whether you want to stay or go. But don't play in this woman's face, because she was a good girl, and I'm sure that guy was a good man. I ain't never really met him, but like I'm sure that the significant others of the assailants were here's where it's like, as a queer person, I feel like if you communicate about things and there's like clear boundaries and everything, like we don't have to have all these rules to it, and you can just do what you want to do ethically. Haven't read The Ethical Slut, but I feel like it's something like that.
Well, also, was this allowed within the company?
Oh, hell no.
Okay.
Hell,
yeah.
hell no.
Yeah, so it was like a sneaking around thing.
Yeah, they were definitely sneaking around and canoodling in the workplace. And
committed.
I mean, I lived for it. Like,
of course, I would have.
It's really fun to get updates on messy situations like that where there's no stakes.
Yeah,
for you.
and you have no personal investment.
And that's why I brought it to Diaz for Drama, because I was like, ain't my mess.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's the best.
It's a perfect example of like shit where you eat. Like, or don't. Like, should you?
But it sounds like they got away with it scot-free.
I know they did, huh?
And I think
here I am on the pod, did they? Here I am in front of a mic. No, I'm just kidding. We're not coming from
Name them.
No, but it's
Name them.
It is a perfect example of like, don't shit where you eat, or do, or figure it out. But I think it's an opportunity to learn and grow, and maybe not cheat. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I got a question. So you said it was a non-traditional wedding. Did that involve everybody's welcome orgy where everybody got fucked? Because if that was the case, I think we're all clean here. I think we're all clear as long as she got some.
As long as the wedding was open.
Yeah.
The honeymoon.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, the afters, it's at our place.
I have a funny not story about doing this, but it's just a good example of me being super oblivious through my life. I've never hooked up with anybody that I work with. That just has not happened. I've always been way too strict about that than I needed to be. Like before we started recording, I was talking about how even when I was 20 years old and working at Red Robin in Tempe, I was ethically not hooking up with anybody I work with.
I never even thought of that. Like that never crossed my mind at that age.
I did. But like at the time I was just like, no, I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. And there's like, I'm very clearly being flirted with like multiple people that I'm working with.
And as a guy, you got to think about that stuff more.
And not acting on it, whatever. But fast forward a little bit to when I'm in my probably 23 or 24 and I'm working at this lit management company as an intern. And the whole time I'm there, there's this really pretty gal who works a couple of cubicles over for a law firm or something. Doesn't even work in the same company, but we work in the same office. And we always do the office flirting thing, right? Just the hellos in the morning are just a little bit longer than they need to be. And the jokes are a little bit dumber than they should be for how hard everybody's laughing or whatever.
Right.
And after 2 or 3 months of this, one afternoon, I'm working later than I normally work. She's working later than she normally works. One afternoon, she walks up and she's just like, I have to show you something. And I get up from my follower. She leads me up to a stairwell. We go up to the top. This is in a pretty tall, probably a 20-floor building in Beverly Hills. Takes me up to the roof. It's right around sunset. It is a beautiful 360 view of the west side of Los Angeles as the sun is starting to come down.
Hot.
I still think about this moment and scream at myself.
Yes.
Because in my mind, I'm like, this is totally cool, platonic behavior. And all I did was say, whoa, this is really cool. Thanks for showing me this. And I still remember the look in her eyes that was just oh no, he's an idiot. And it was just, I think I didn't realize it until 2 or 3 months later, where I was just like,
it took you that long.
Yep. God dang it, you could have kissed her. Well, heck. That's rough stuff, Daddy-O.
I have so many instances, even thinking back to middle school, where I'll in the middle of the night and be like, oh, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I take that opportunity? Life could have been so much richer.
Hey, shoot or shoot, it's
hard when you're young, though.
But men, I do feel like men, myself included, sometimes I'm not without fault. We are dense. We are dense sometimes. Sometimes it's girl, I need to be told I'm being flirted with. I need to, it needs to be very clear.
Because it will happen, and it has happened to me before, where even if you are getting flirted with and you act on it immediately, you'll occasionally get hit with as if.
Yeah.
Never. And then on the walk away, I mean, maybe. And it's just like, and so you
Oh,
just like,
really?
sometimes it pays to be dense because it's sort of, if they're into it, they'll put their cards on the table.
Yeah, yeah,
It's,
yeah.
but at the same time, also, there's just a lot of instances back in my life like that one where I look back and it's just like, wow, I was really dumb.
I think what Max told me a story, one of his brothers, something he happened the night before with this girl, and like the next day he asked Max, he was like, well, she had me go into the room with her and she took off her shirt. What do you think that means? And Max was like,
She feels really
"Aw."
comfortable around you and needed to change.
Oh, the vexing female mind. What riddle will they come up with next? Like the Sphinx they are.
Women do be on that, like, women in my experience are definitely like reading between the lines, like trying to like send a message, and men are just too like to like
They're-
not get it.
Women are
sometimes.
playing 5D chess and men are
Yeah.
trying to set up mousetrap, and it's
Exactly.
not going well.
It's not the same game. And so sometimes you have to dumb it down for us and like, girly pop, meet me in the middle, because I think I want what you want if this is what you want, but also I don't want to get caught up in a situation where I shoot my shot, it's misconstrued, and now it's fucking weird. Because that is my biggest fear, is being like, I'm like, damn, we could have just been friends. Like, I'm
Yeah.
a girl's
Yeah,
girl.
yeah.
We could have just been friends. Like,
Right. I could have been your gay bestie instead of your
you fumbled the
your
bag.
man. Yeah.
You fumbled the bag.
I've never been freaked out by a rejection except in the workplace.
Mm.
Because when I
yeah,
have
yeah.
seen people
You're
that I'm
playing
just
a
like, oh wow, I'm
dangerous
really attracted to
game.
them or whatever, I really don't want to get rejected in that situation, because now I'm in active danger, right? Now there's
Yes.
like active reputation
Might
harm
be
and
shitting where you
everything else.
eat.
Mhm.
Exactly. That's so
And sometimes in some scenarios it's illegal.
yeah, that's well. Hold on, I've never been doing anything where it was illegal.
I mean against policy.
Okay, sure. Well,
I mean,
against
against
policies, wait,
policy.
I'm against policy every day, Shannon.
Yeah.
Unethical and illegal are two different things.
Frowned upon versus
Frowned
jail time.
upon.
The Arkansan in me is really, I'm like, Bill Clinton, I don't like him, but I'm just saying, like, frowned upon for sure in a
Yeah.
lot of ways. He's
And you
been
can
on,
still be president.
but you and you too can be president.
Yeah, and you too.
Ain't nothing wrong with getting your willy slobbed on a little bit. Sure, it's against
No,
policy.
when the conspiracy theory came out about him and Trump and like him being called Bubba or whatever, that shit was
I
so
want
funny
that.
to me.
I'm just willing
it's
that
gotta
one.
I
be
feel like it's a
true.
reach, girl. I really feel like it's a reach.
I don't know.
But
I
it's
love
fun.
it.
That's a conspiracy you could do a PowerPoint on.
I
Okay.
don't know if that is that far fetched, and we can leave that one at that. We'll talk about that off air.
Yeah, off air. Okay, that's not shitting where we eat.
Well, I did have a story from actually a friend of mine from back home that kind of has to do with your story, where she was the one that knew about it.
Where's back
as
home?
Well,
You're not from LA.
I'm from outside of Philadelphia in New Jersey, but my friend is from Philly, and you will hear it.
All right, Sean, I'm gonna try and make this fast, and I hope that this is like quiet enough
Fast.
for you, because I'm 195. Basically, back in 2019, Maggie had been working for this recruiting firm, and she's like, "You should work with me. It would be so much fun." Blah blah blah. So I'm like, "Yes, sign me up." This is kind of like an important note. We were both living at home at the time, and obviously, we've grown up together. We've been friends since grade school. So we live a block away, and she's like, "I feel like we should just commute. Like, it'll just be easier," because it was like an hour long every day. So Maggie obviously ends up telling me like she's dating the boss, and it cannot get out. It's like, gonna be horrible. She'll lose her job. He'll lose his job. So I'm like, yeah, like, obviously, dude, like, I'm not gonna say anything. Somebody ends up, we actually think we know who it was, but somebody ends up like writing an anonymous email like about, them two dating. This woman, Pam, I dead serious think her name was like fucking Pam.
We love
From
a Pam.
HR flies out. They're like, Pam from HR's here, whatever. Now, she pulls me in a room along with like everybody, basically, like one by one. She was like, it was like an interrogation room. And this is after she had been there for a couple days. So she basically is just hammering me with questions like, "You know Maggie? How well do you know Maggie? Do you know anything about this?" And I'm like, "No, I don't know anything.
I
Like,
don't
I
know
barely
shit."
know Maggie." And she's like, "That's kind of crazy. You guys have shown up to work together every single day this week." And I'm like, yeah, no, we don't know each other that well. And she's like, are you sure? Like, and I'm thinking like this, she probably went on like her Facebook and there's pictures of us from like fucking 1995. But I'm like, yeah, no, I don't know anything because I'm not throwing her under the bus either.
Hell
So
no.
I'm like, fuck it, like we'll just go down together. So she interviews everyone and basically like it kind of blows over. So then like 2 weeks later, this is all like forgotten about. You know, I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just like, oh, okay. Because in my head, I'm like, can they actually even like fire me over this? Is it that deep? But it in fact was. So I end up getting pulled by like the two like managers, office managers, and they're like, it's so unfortunate. We're really sad, but unfortunately, like the company has to go in a different direction. And I'm like, Shan, I'm such a fucking dumbass. I thought they meant the company was like filing for bankruptcy and closing. So I'm like, oh my God, guys, I'm so sorry. Like, that's horrible. Like, are you guys okay? They're silent as I'm saying this. They're like side eyeing each other and they're probably like, what the fuck is wrong with this girl? Like, looking back, they're probably like, what the hell? So I had flip flops on that day. And I only remember this because I was like flip flopping around the office. I'm thinking like the company's closing, like what a shame. I'm flip flopping around the office, finishing my iced coffee at my desk, you know, probably closing out whatever shopping carts I had up on my computer. And then I'm like, oh my God, it's the summertime, 25, I'm gonna go out. So I go in the bathroom and I'm doing my makeup. And Maggie texts me and she's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? I've been in the car for 20 minutes. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm doing my makeup. Like, do you want to go out for a drink? And she's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I'm a mess. We just got fired all because of me. And I'm like, wait, what? So now I'm like, oh my God, I'm so fucking stupid. So I go back to my desk with my like head down, fucking grab whatever I could that was mine and like shove it into my bag and beeline for the door. And I get to her car and she's obviously like, what the hell were you just doing? And I'm like, I thought we were gonna go out for drinks. I didn't realize that like we got fired. So moral of the story is at least I wasn't a rat, but yeah, we got fired because of Maggie with the boss. And honestly, I'm a dumbass, but yeah, that's the whole story.
I love her.
She's so fucking
I
funny.
love
That's fantastic.
I'm in love.
Flip flopping around the
Flip flopping
office.
around.
I might move to Philly just so I can hear women who sound
Oh my
like that.
God, so
Wow.
funny. The accent's amazing.
Beautiful.
First of all,
Stunning. No
Stunning.
notes.
No notes.
I felt similar in that situation though because I knew what was happening. Luckily, HR never interrogated me.
I know, thank
But I was
God.
like, I'm not a snitch. First and foremost, I'm a lot of things. I've been called many.
Call him a lot of things.
I've been called a
Not
lot of things.
a snitch.
Not a
but
snitch.
never.
Not a snitch.
And I get that shit tattooed on me. No regrets. I'm not a fucking
No
snitch.
regrets. But
I'm-
that's what
I'm
you're
not a
saying.
snitch.
Like, it does make you liable. Like,
Yeah.
legitimately.
But what a ride or die to be like, yeah, I got fired because my friend was on that bullshit, but I'm not snitching. I don't even
She
know
goes,
her.
I don't even know her. She's like, really? You've been driving into work with her every day.
I don't even know who you are. What is this?
Who-
What do we
what's your
do
name,
here?
Pam?
I don't work
Pam
here.
from
What a
HR?
Pam from
friend.
HR was a fucking fed. Who is like it? I always
Yeah.
find that interesting with HR
Power
reps,
tripping.
where like I've met a lot of very genuinely good HR reps who are just doing their job and they do their job effectively and efficiently.
Yeah.
Then there's that other HR rep where like never trust the ones that are too bubbly. Never trust the ones that are too friendly because then there's that day where the shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, here comes the cop. Oh,
Yeah.
they've been a cop the entire time. Where like the ones who just like are always kind of
They want to be your friend.
not super friendly, but like polite, but always just kind of reminding you they're an HR person.
Yes.
Those are usually the best HR reps because they're not trying to trick you,
That
right?
makes
They're not trying to
sense.
lure you into a sense of false security.
They don't take it
Yeah.
too seriously.
Yeah, they or they
Or-
do, and but they present it in a way where they're never entrapping you, right?
Yeah.
Or those HR reps who are too
It kind of
friendly.
reminds me of like reality producers, where it's like they pretend to be your friend,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
really they're like it's
Mm.
all their own like.
Yeah,
you know,
they're trying to
manipulation.
manipulate you
Yeah.
into being a certain behavior type on the show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. I should have an HR rep on, or like maybe not.
That would be a
current
good one.
but
Yeah, maybe somebody who
Yes.
used to
who
do it.
Used to do it. I
We
think
need
that'd
a
be really good.
barometer
I'd be
for the
very
trauma.
interested.
I
Yes.
want an HR rep who's like a grizzled old Brooklyn detective.
Yeah.
But it's just like Hey,
He can be my mascot with my theme song.
look, I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to make sure the company doesn't step its foot in a fucking bear trap, okay?
Yeah.
Look, yeah, I'll eat lunch with you. I'll ask you about your favorite sports teams, but I am not your friend, and you shouldn't think of me as one. And anyone who tells you I am is a fucking rat.
I love him. What's his name?
Prescott Curtis.
Prescott.
Prescott Curtis. 2 first names, none of them nice.
What's his badge number? This guy.
I can't tell you that for legal reasons.
Okay, but back to your Philadelphia queen.
Yeah, I can't believe that's like surprised me that she got fired for that though.
Yeah, that's
It's
messed up that she
It's
got
like-
fired for that.
So
Just for
for
lying?
for the idea, I mean, I guess you could tag her for lying about not know. That would be funny if the thing that actually got her fired was just saying, "I have no idea who she is,"
Yeah.
and she rides to work with her
every
day.
day.
But I guess there might be something about withholding information that made the company liable or something. But that sucks. If that's why you got fired, that's bullshit.
I asked her and she said that is why I got fired for sure, but they couldn't say that.
Right.
I think Maggie, the other girl, had a lawyer look into it for me. And then she goes, if I'm being honest, I wasn't like a star employee. And I was like, yeah, I can tell from the online shopping and bathroom makeup routine.
And the flip flops. I don't care what the I don't care what the job was. Flip flops were not encouraged.
Even as a lifeguard, I had strapped sandals.
Hopefully it was
you know?
Summer Friday.
I just real quick, anybody who's getting into the job market, closed-toed shoes
Closed-toed
at all
shoes.
times.
We don't need to
I
see your
used to
figgies.
run a shop at the beach. Closed-toed shoes.
Especially not ones that announce that you're coming from a mile away. Plop, 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 plop,
That's my
plop.
flip-flop noise.
Have you ever tried to run in flip flops?
God no. I don't
Oh,
wear
yes.
flip-flops.
That's what they make them do in Guantanamo. That shit's fucked. That shit is fucked.
Wait, really?
No.
Oh,
No, I think the last time I ever wore
prepared
flip-flops
for anything.
It's
anywhere
torture.
was freshman year at Arizona State.
Yeah.
Because they were so common and it was so hot when you're still
I
acclimating
hate to
to
hear
it.
you coming.
They're like melting when you're walking. It's that
But I think
hot.
even after like October, I just moved on from them completely because I just hated them.
Yeah. Flip flops suck. I'm done with them too. I'll only wear them if I'm in like
Yeah.
a tropical whatever.
Even then, I'll just throw on my Vans with no socks. It's just like,
Oh,
unless I go to the beach and then I'm just
Yeah,
like not wearing
then you're
shoes.
just barefoot.
Yeah.
Call me country, I'd rather go barefoot.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
the type of kid who was raised barefoot. Like in the summertime, I was barefoot up until like probably like 12, 13 years old in the summertime. Like I was barefoot. I was just,
Same, yeah,
that's just
for
how I ran
sure.
around,
Yeah,
you know? And so I got tough soles in my feet, boy.
panda paws. That's what we call them. Panda
Hand
paws.
paws?
Panda paws.
Panda paws. That's
Panda
funny.
paws.
My grandpa says, back in my day, boy, I could run barefoot across a gravel road and not feel a thing.
The only surface I can't do now is large gravel. I can do small gravel, but that like,
it's
that
Legos.
big,
What do you
yeah.
mean? It's pressure point.
My
No,
parents'
it's
place in
terrible.
Havasu, they have that like big white rock gravel out in front of their place,
Mm-hmm.
and that shit just like I will still stubbornly just be like, I don't know where my shoes are. I got to take the recycling out.
Yeah.
Do it.
Bucket, and then I do it, and I'm just like,
You just regret it the
"Fuck,
whole time.
ow." The
Yeah.
whole time.
That's
and,
why you need flip flops.
But I don't want them, Shannon. They're thongs for my feet. Oh, when people call
Oh, I hate
flip flops
when they call them
thongs,
thongs.
what
I
the-
hate that.
why?
Well, the other thing with men though is that I feel like women have beat it out of you guys wearing them because everyone talks about how they think it's such a big ick. I personally don't mind them.
that is something that I frequently see people talking about.
Yes,
Like,
If
men
it's
it's
aren't
such
allowed
a
to wear
thing.
these.
It doesn't bother me.
But if his feet are busted, not
That's true, but that's a whole
I don't
want
wanna
to
target your people,
that's
but
a whole other thing.
yeah,
No,
but
we
I'm
gotta
like,
get a little get you to the pedicurist.
right? Like take care of them, girl.
Yes.
Like I got
But
something,
here's
but
the,
like
but
Mark
here's the
and cute.
thing. So like,
As they
I
should be.
just had a conversation with a friend of ours about this earlier this weekend. I am on the record. I don't care for feet. I wish we all had hooves, but I also don't care that they
Hooves.
exist. Yeah, it would just be easy.
But you would take care of your hooves.
I think-
Probably.
yeah, but I
Yeah.
think if we had hooves, you would then hate hooves.
No, I don't hate hooves. Are just like I feel
You just
nothing when I
love
look at
them.
hooves. When I don't. When I look at feet, I'm like, that's gross. I wish they didn't look like that. I don't like the nubbins, but they are they're incredible athletic tools, right? The design of the human foot's one of the reasons why we dominate the entire planet.
Sure.
Because we were able to win long distance running. It's our circulatory system and the way that our bodies are built to allow us to run longer than anything else on the planet.
Pop your shit, King.
So I respect it. I am grateful that we have it, but I think that, to me, they're just gross. So I never look at them. So I don't care if somebody's wearing flip-flops because I'm avoiding looking at them anyway.
It's like when a woman has a low-cut shirt and you can't look. It's like that for you. Like, you're like, don't look down, don't look down, don't look down.
There is, you know what's funny? In my younger years, yes, that absolutely, it had to be an active, conscious thing.
Yes.
Where now I've trained myself so well, it's just sort of, I imagine it's like a German Shepherd who's been trained to like the opposite of a German Shepherd who's trained to hone in on a scent.
Yeah.
Where now I don't even have to actively think about it.
Oh,
I'm just
God.
aware there are some wild ass titties happening just below my eyesight, and I cannot adjust my.
I just look. I'm just
well,
like,
yeah, you can.
Men are dogs.
And I'm just like this like,
Men
the
are
whole time.
dogs.
I'm
Do
just
you hear
like,
him? He said,
and
I'm like
but then I'm like, I'm being so weird right now. I must stop this.
I
there's
can safely assure you that anybody who has had a low cut top around me doesn't even think for a second that I'm even aware that they're wearing a low cut top, because I've trained myself diligently over the last however long it was since I hit puberty to
and
not
and
look.
same with the feet.
The titties speak for themselves. You know
it's-
what I mean? Like, if you got them, we know you got them. It's clear you got them, but
They're
I'm not
beautiful.
here for the titty.
I'm here for you.
I'm here for you.
I want to know who you are. How's your lower back doing?
He's terrible.
All right. So I was also asking her, well, was anyone in a relationship? Because I was like, was this an affair? She said he was just in the middle of a divorce. So that's better.
They're always just in the middle
That's
of a
true.
divorce.
That's
Girl,
true.
it don't take that long to get a divorce. Let's be for really real about it.
I don't know. It does take years sometimes.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it can.
if they're
It can.
dragging
it
it
can.
out on that bullshit, but if you really want to separate somebody and you trying to get off that quick, you gonna take what you.
Yeah, but the
give a
other
fuck,
person
sign the
might
shit.
not.
If they don't, we could get into that.
I was.
This isn't the divorce episode.
Senior year of college, I was involved with a woman who was going through a divorce. That was a little bit older than me.
Oh.
It was when I was doing stand-up comedy. It was somebody who was.
Was she
on the
actually
road.
though?
What?
Was she actually? So she claims.
I didn't do. First of all, I was 22 years old. I'm gonna be honest with everybody. I didn't really care. It was just kind of like, well, you're a successful touring performer, so
It's not your responsibility to like be a
yeah,
detective.
I'm just
to
like
figure
you're
that out.
managing your own life. Like I'm
Yeah.
not. But it seemed like it was pretty legit. But there was just some moments where like I would be given instructions about how to communicate because it might affect the divorce. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
yeah, yeah.
I don't know how to extrapolate on it past that without revealing anybody's identities.
How respectful of you.
But yeah, that was something where I like at the time was like, yeah, I guess divorces can be really complicated. And I'm a dumbass 22-year-old, so I'm not going to ask a lot of questions about this.
Yeah.
It was just fun at the time, and that's kind of all you're looking for there.
Totally. Yeah, and with this scenario, like they were like 25, so just having a good time. And I'm sure there's something very hot about hooking up with your boss. There's got to be a little bit of, kink going on there.
Have you guys ever had a boss that you would have hooked up with?
Like,
no.
like 3 of them.
I was about to say I've had
Really?
I've had a couple of bosses where I'm like, if you didn't have power over my paycheck, over my finances, and I met you on the street, but that's not hot anymore though, because it's like what I call like the teacher complex. It's like teachers can be like a 7 outside of school, but in school they're a 10 because they're a teacher.
The bar
Or a
is
professor.
very
It
low
changes,
for
and it's the
teachers.
exact same, but it's the exact same
Yeah.
effect.
Because it's like if your boss is like a 7 on a normal day, you might not like shoot your shot at them. Maybe if they make you laugh and smile and
it's the
have
power.
game. But
So-
it's the power dynamic of it that's hot.
So like I learned retroactively because
Just can't do it.
I never dated anybody while I worked with them, but I did start dating somebody that I worked with when I was managing that shop in Malibu, and I was technically her boss. We never flirted or anything when we worked together. At least I
She
never
left.
flirted with her, but it was after we had both left, so it wasn't like involved at all. But through her, I learned that like I was talked about frequently amongst the female staff.
Oh,
But
that's
it
a good
was-
feeling.
It is a
Jakey
good feeling,
Tuesday.
but it's what you guys are talking about where like I know for a fact it's because I was
Yeah.
the boss. That was greatly influencing the allure that I had because and like I'm not like obviously I think I'm a conventionally attractive person, but I'm not over here acting like I'm Chris Pine or something.
Yeah, You
but
were a 10 out of 10.
the
out of
allure
10.
goes up because I am the guy who's like fucking guy who sets my hours and tells me what time I gotta be here.
Their kink is
Yeah.
Yeah, I will
managerial
go
task.
on lunch because you told me to.
Mm.
That
Yes.
ultimately,
Whip him
like,
into shape.
it was pretty much just that, and then being able to decide if they were going to work there anymore. That was the only power I had over anybody at that job.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
a lot of power.
It's-
Like,
You were young, weren't you?
I was 26, 27 at that job, I think.
Yeah.
good on you for not abusing that power. Many a lesser man in that position would abuse that
That
power.
was the first job where I think it was actually very important for me to maintain that because like there was a lot of people hooking up at the end of that pier. There was like just like the restaurant at the front of it and the restaurant on the other side from us is just like it was nutso.
Yeah.
So I'm proud that I think it was important for me, not even proud because to me it's the bare minimum, but it's important for me as like the day-to-day person that you're relying on to create a calm sense of regularity in the workplace.
Mhm.
It would have been fucked for me to be like, especially like they weren't all way younger than me, but they all were younger than me by somewhere between 4 to 2 years. So
Yeah.
it was just, or 4 to 1 year basically.
all
so
around the drinking age, maybe not able
it
to
would,
drink.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
have felt great
mm.
about myself.
No, it's an abuse of power
Yeah.
regardless. But this is what I wanted to point out earlier. Before, if we say anything else, I do want this mentioned.
Yes.
Is that I have never been a waiter personally for a job. I've worked a ton of retail. I've done all types of odds and end jobs. I've just never found myself as a server. But every single one of my friends that I know as a server has shit where they've eaten. They've hooked up with a coworker. I feel like in service work in the restaurant business, it is so common. Like so many things are so prevalent. So if anyone out there is listening who works service, like
yeah.
I want that tea. But on top of that, like I don't want our perspective to be skewed and be like so naive, like, oh, I've never hooked up with someone that I've worked with, but it's like I have a bunch of friends who've worked in a restaurant and they're all hooking up.
Well, and it's
to
allowed.
that
Right?
I
feel like
hooked up with, that was the only time I ever hooked up with anyone. I was at a restaurant. He was a bartender and I was
It's
a server.
commonplace, right?
Yeah.
See, now that sounds fun when you're young.
It was fun, but it was
Messy?
really awkward because I didn't know he had a girlfriend.
Oof.
So then he was really weird towards me the next day. But because I was even like imagining like, oh, like maybe we could hook up in the back room.
So she's talking about
We
in the
hooked up like we
freezer.
all went out one night
Yeah.
after like a wine tasting at work. And so yeah, I'm like
do
the whole
it.
next day I'm like imagining like, oh my God, it's gonna be so hot. He's so cute, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like really weird. And then like I found out from other coworkers that he like was pretending he didn't remember and that he
Dick.
had a girlfriend. And I remember like we had hooked up in the back of his car and I remember I had put a condom like in the back of the pocket. Part of me was like, should I tell him? Like
yeah, I mean, fuck him if he's gonna act like it didn't happen.
exactly. So
That
I was
is
just
kind of
like,
a fuck
forget
him.
it. Then fuck
with Jake.
him.
That's
Yeah, I didn't tell him.
No.
He wouldn't even talk to me.
Yeah, no, you
No,
can't.
it's
You
like-
can't help him after that. If like you're gonna be
No.
a dick about it, you don't know him that.
Exactly.
When I was bouncing, I was unfortunately in a long distance relationship that was also toxic. But when I was bouncing, that was by far the most frequent where I knew full well I was being hit on by coworkers and customers. And if I wasn't with somebody, I would have absolutely taken advantage of that at that job. Because especially when you're working at 1 o'clock at night and you're watching everybody else party and it's just
Yeah.
coiling up the dragon inside you. And it's just like,
The
Mhm.
dragon.
God, I wish I could be having fun right now.
Totally.
But still just that like, no, you're in a relationship, it's fine. Blah,
Oh, you
blah, blah.
were?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
He's a
sucked.
good man, Savannah.
It sucked. No, I don't think I can
Jake is a
claim
good
good man
man.
points on that because the whole time that I'm like doing the
Just-
right thing, I'm mad that I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So-
So you get good man points. It's proof that you have a conscience, but also in multiple instances now you've had the opportunity to make an abuse of power and you haven't. And that is the high road,
I
as
appreciate
Michelle
that, Phil.
Obama
Thanks.
says. When they go
Thanks,
low,
Mish.
when they go low, we go
Thanks,
high. And
Mish.
Jake goes high, and this is why I love Jake.
I do
Oh
my
God.
best.
Okay, do we have anything more to say about her thing?
No, I love Miss Philly. She's wonderful.
We love you, and I'm so sorry that
You got fired.
you got
For your
fired.
friend. Send me her Venmo. Let me cash up this woman for her grievances.
Yeah.
Come on. Who is she?
We will
Wove a
start a
heck of a tale.
GoFundMe.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that a great amount.
I love that she didn't realize, like, she thought that the company was going under
That's
because they were
I
like,
was
we're going in a
crying.
different direction.
that is wild self-preservation of just like, fuck, that sucks for you guys. I
Yeah.
guess I still have a job though. It
No, I
sounds
think
like
she thought everyone
she
was,
thought
and she
everybody
was
was
just like
losing their
taking her
job.
time,
Okay,
and
yeah,
like, I
yeah,
guess we'll
yeah.
finish off the rest of the day. Like,
She
I
said,
think
are we
that's what it
talking
was.
before or after the recession?
Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up with one final story. AITA for reporting a coworker to HR after she wouldn't take no for an answer for a date with me. I am a male employee at a fairly well-known technology company in Silicon Valley. We have a policy about dating that goes something like this. If you're interested in dating a coworker, you can request once and only once if they'd like to hang out after work or on a weekend. If they decline for any reason, even if they say they're busy, then you must accept it as a lack of interest on their part. Obviously, if they say they're busy but offer a date and time that works better for them, then it can be considered an acceptance. But if they say no and that they're busy, full stop, then you are not allowed to pursue it further.
Period.
There's a fairly attractive woman that worked in a department located near mine, and we met in the break room a few weeks ago. She is cute. However, I have a strong policy of not dating coworkers. I have had horror stories happen to me and friends with office relationships and drama. Well, tell us those stories.
yeah. What?
What the hell are you doing?
That's the whole.
I don't want to tell you about all this cool shit that happened.
He doesn't want to stir his own pot, and
Give
I
us the
respect that.
tea. She sent me an email about a week and a half ago asking if I'd like to grab drinks after work. I said I was flattered by the offer, but I'm busy. She responded with, "Oh, okay. Is there a better time for you?" Which is against company policy to even ask. I cut her some slack and I said, "Not really, to be honest, but I appreciate the invite." I would have thought that that would be the end of the situation, but on Saturday morning at 2:45 a.m., so basically Friday night, I got a text message that said, "Are you sure you don't want to grab drinks with me?"
Ooh.
Winky face.
Too late.
Ooh.
Too late in the
Yeah.
girl. It's past midnight.
That's a booty call.
That is a booty call.
I responded in the morning when I actually read it and I said that thanks, but I'm good and have a great weekend. She responded with, "Oh, okay. Sorry to bother you." Again, I would have thought that would have been the end of it. But then on Sunday at 1:30 a.m., aka Saturday night,
She's a drinker.
I got another text saying, "Hey, just so I know, what did I do wrong? Was it something I said? I'm sorry, but like, I feel like I should know why it was." I ignored the text, and first thing on Monday, I walked straight into my boss's office. Her attitude was, quote, "Sounds like she likes you, man. She's hot. Why don't you go for it?" I told her, A, I'm not interested, and B, I don't date coworkers due to my personal experience, which I guess you're not going to share with us.
That's the gag of it all.
She advised that reporting it to HR would cause drama that the neighboring departments really cannot afford because it's busy season for
They
them.
got a whole lot of claims right now. the company
Why
holiday
don't
party
you-
was last month, and they got a lot of
Hey,
claims.
just fuck this lady.
It's like,
Just
hey, we got
come
enough
on.
problems. Can you bone up, please? No, ew, gross. That sounds gross.
And she goes, and she's a really nice girl anyway. Also, I should reconsider maybe dating her. And if not, then I should be at least flattered and not pissed. She's like trying to wing woman.
Yeah, this boss's
coworker.
kink is coercing people into hooking
Yeah.
up with
There's
other
a way
people.
to do it though. It's the late night text, like the booty call text for me, that just don't show like the right intention. Like
Yeah.
if you're trying to come after me in the workplace, you have to be like, that's a situation where it's like there has to be a level of respect.
If you want to
here.
cross that boundary, you need to step your game up. I'll say
That
that. Like there is a
part.
way. I'm not saying
Yeah, you
like
gotta
I,
do it a
I
little bit more
personally I
suave
get
than
one no,
that.
I'm out. I get one no, I'm out. But I think that in this situation, there is a way for her to I want to borrow a term from the next generation. Riz this dude up, like make him interested.
game,
then.
yeah.
If
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
busy,
yeah.
don't follow up with like, "Are you sure you're busy?"
Twice.
Because I'm out on that shit.
At 1 a.m.
Girl, make him want you.
Yeah, make yourself intriguing.
Yeah.
There's a way to do that
Yeah.
without crossing that line or that boundary.
I like to say, like, everything ain't for everybody. And so you've just got to find what works for you. And if, like, he turns you down, mama, keep it pushing. There's plenty of fish in the sea. And in that office, I'm sure he's not the only decent looking guy. Well, I hope not.
Maybe like go somewhere else, not in the office.
I didn't like her approach. That's the thing.
Yeah.
There's a way to do it. And especially with coworkers, there's a way to do it with, like, respect and, like, oh, cool, you're not interested, whatever. Like, there's a you got to read the room, and she didn't read the room. And the late night, presumably, maybe it's an assumption on my part that she was drunk at 2:45 a.m.
For sure.
or whatever. Right.
Or she gets up really early to go to CrossFit.
Who knows what
Really
she's
early.
doing?
Really
I
early.
didn't like that. But is old boy the asshole for sending her to HR? Did he?
I think.
Oh,
sorry. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Go for it.
This caused me to wonder why my boss would have taken her side and not her own employee. She is not the other woman's boss. So I looked at the members of one of the extracurricular social groups for Latin women, and I think so specific.
That's a big ass company. They got all this extra shit.
and I think they
Good for
know each
them.
other through that group. She is trying to protect her friend. Last night, I got a text from my boss that said, please don't get her in trouble. She's a really nice girl. And if you're not interested, then just please tell her. But I already have told
did.
her.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I need a reason to reject
don't
a
think-
date
you don't
or
think
a
you told her?
person anyways. They're not allowed that. No is a full sentence, right? I milled it over last night and I decided to report it to HR this morning. I have no contact with my boss since then. She has deliberately avoided me and said nothing to me all day. The rest of my coworkers have all suspiciously ignored me as well. One even canceled a sub-team meeting that day that I would have gone to. Well, that might be looking a little into it, but I have a feeling like there will now be intense social backlash over my decision to report her.
I want to get into all of this, but it is so funny to me. It is like, somebody canceled a stupid meeting that didn't need to happen.
I would have gone to.
Hey, we can't have this dumb meeting that could have been an email because Jerry won't fuck Melissa.
Yeah. I have a feeling that there will be now intense social backlash over my decision to report her, and now I'm regretting it and wondering if I may be opening up myself further to issues and possibly bullying and harassment by the guys and girls I work with. Now I'm starting to really, really dwell on this and wondering if I did the right thing. AITA.
To address my hesitation, man, that has a lot of juice to it.
Mhm.
Obviously this guy did tell her he's not interested. No is a full sentence. That's accurate. But in the world of dating where people are so petrified and affected so strangely deeply by rejection in a way that I can't connect to it because it's never bothered me that much. But it brings out the worst in people. And in the mind of people that respond to rejection like that, they will take every little bit of rope you leave them to not be rejected, right? So by him saying, I'm too busy, in her mind, oh, well, he didn't say he's not interested in me. He just said he's too busy, so I can ask him again later.
Yes.
And without him and I'm not saying that this was wrong and that this wasn't a rejection, but when you're dealing with people like this, they force you into a position where you have to be blunt and you have to, like, it's a spell. You have to explicitly say, I am not interested in going on a date with you. And sometimes you have to flat out say, I do not find you attractive. That is what it takes for a lot of people to get it, and then you're the asshole. They force you into a position where now they have a story where despite, I just hit this guy up after midnight 4 times, and he had the nerve to tell me he wasn't attracted to me. Like, I think that that's something where, like, I've had male friends when I was younger. Obviously, I don't run with any guys who are still acting like this, but when I was younger, I'd have male friends who were just like, she just, like, she just like fucking told me that she's not attracted to me. Like, why the fuck do you have to tell me that? And it would just be like, buddy,
Yeah.
how
You
many
didn't take the
times
hit.
how many times did you ask her out?
Yeah.
And that would be, well, okay. And it's like, what'd she say the first time? That she was busy. And it's
Yeah.
like, you just have to walk them through it.
Yeah.
Where it's just take the L and don't make it 3 fucking L's.
Truly,
It's
I hear
true.
you with a no. Sometimes it is a complete sentence. A no is a complete sentence. However, sometimes a no needs to be a hard no, and sometimes we do things that are kind and not nice. And the kind thing to do is to hard no that person and reject them and make sure they know that you're not with that.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if they had any social cues, you could give them a soft no and be passive. And then if anything, maybe they have hope that one day you're not coworkers and they can shoot their shot again.
It's just a little bit more of a delicate of a dance because they're
Because of the
coworkers.
coworkers.
But old boys should be on LinkedIn right now looking for a job because, honey, the writing's on the wall. You didn't
You're
shit
an
where
other
you
now.
you
I know,
now
it
have shit where you
sucks.
ate in the sense of
Unintentionally.
unintentionally.
But
You
I'll-
made a mess for yourself, like because you turned someone down and then went to HR. You could have just kept it pushing. From personal experience, don't go to HR.
I
Here-
know it's
here's
kind
what-
of a delicate.
I'm with you on everything you said. But if you were to go to HR on anything, this is what I would have done because I'm thinking about that cha-ching. I'm thinking about that settlement.
Come knowing the
money.
law.
Come knowing the law. You go to HR, and this is not about another coworker. Because if it's about another coworker, that's nothing. That's not going to get you any kind of money. But if it's
the
about your boss, and there is clear, explicit writing in the company handbook about this exact thing,
yeah.
and your boss came at you, and you got a text message from your boss breaking that, you have it in writing.
You're big brain with this.
Oh my God, don't look for a new job. Get more knickknacks for your cubicle. Kick your feet up more. You live here now.
Yeah, they can't
You
get
have
rid
to
of you.
make them feel more uncomfortable to break more rules.
That's leverage.
That's true because somebody here did say something in the comments about that, and he said that unfortunately, while I have the girls' emails and text saves, I don't have my boss's comments in email form. It was all verbal, so she'll likely deny it. But he definitely said that
Said he
she
had text
texted her.
message.
Him.
Well, if that is how it went down and what happened,
Oh, wait, sorry. Somebody did say something back. You said you said she sent you a text asking you not to get the girl in trouble, even though that doesn't reflect the entire conversation you had with her. It definitely supports your story and is an example of her unprofessional behavior. And OP says, "Oh yeah, I see what you mean. I was referring to the conversation I had with her in person, where she made most of the infuriates comments. I should have clarified. Okay, but still,
yeah, you've got a case brewing here. Like you
do.
If you're, and this is just to anybody who's ever in situations like this, going to HR about other coworkers is a fool's game. It's not going to solve anything. It's not,
Clock
but
that.
it's very rarely going to fix anything, but it starts the paper trail, and it's a paper trail that they can't just get rid of. Because once you start getting into that litigation period of a settlement, you always keep everything above board and keep as much paper trail as you can, because eventually it'll get to a point where the company just says, fuck, we don't want to deal with this. Fuck, can we just give you $25,000 to go away?
They will either cut you off or break you
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They will either fire you or give
Yeah.
you a promotion. And that's leverage.
Yes. There you
Know
go.
how to
use
use
it
that.
to your advantage.
Yeah, I wish I would have known that earlier in my career, like when I was younger. Is like there's times where you'll be put in a position and my therapist says you can either be right or you can be effective, and sometimes you have to swallow your pride and not make it a point to be right,
Yep.
but just like do what needs to get done so it gets done and everything kind of comes out in the wash later on.
So then, wasn't it good that he went to HR?
I think it was good, but if his messaging
gets
to
fired.
HR was complaining
think
about
he
the
will.
coworkers' behavior, especially when I don't care about these double standards, because the double standards the other way around are so much more actively dangerous and toxic for women.
Totally, yeah.
But there's always going to be a double standard for men going to HR saying, this woman has been coming on to me and I'm not comfortable with it. They're not going to take that seriously. What they will take seriously is my supervisor is directly breaking company protocol
Yeah.
regarding this subject.
True.
You don't even have to name the other person.
Yeah.
Because if
Spin.
it comes to that, now you have the paper trail of, hey, I have 3 different text messages of my initial no
Yeah.
being ignored, and I'm getting texted at 1:30, 1:59 in the morning.
Yeah.
You have an ice cold locked up case that any employment lawyer would lose their minds to
Yeah,
get to
he
pick
should have
up.
just gone about the boss.
Yeah, it's just go about the boss because now
So
it's
that's
about
the angle.
management.
You're not the
and-
asshole. You just played the wrong, like,
Well, because
your strategy is off, my
is
friend.
off, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he says here, I think I've now invited the possibility of some kind of false / exaggerated accusation being made against me. Then again, if she is the type to do that just because she rejected, then what would she have done if I did date her and have sex with her? And then there would be more at stake.
He definitely made the right move avoiding this because drama was going to happen one way or the other.
Yeah.
It honestly, like the amount of collaboration happening in secret Facebook groups, which by the way, everybody real quick, if you're in a Facebook group and you are under the age of, I'm going to say 50, I'm going to say 50, you got to reevaluate those life choices because why are you still in a Facebook group? Gigi is insistent on making herself a part of this episode.
Yeah, she wants to be. Oh no, not your
sweet
local.
angel.
My
If
cat's
you're watching on
running
YouTube.
amok.
So
Yeah.
funny. No,
Um,
but hold on now, because I'm in a buy nothing group and I live for that, and I don't
Well,
get on
that's
I used to
different.
Facebook
be
for
in some
shit else.
podcast
I u-
groups, but not anymore.
I use Facebook for Facebook Marketplace and the buy nothing group.
What
'cause,
is buy nothing?
girl? What? I'm not going to ask you what part of town you live on the pod, but whatever part of town you live on, you search on Facebook,
Yeah.
like, let's say you're like Echo Park. Echo Park buy nothing. And it's a Facebook group of people who are either looking for something or giving something away.
BUY.
Yeah. So it's like, hey, does anybody, like, there's one, it's
It's like
does anybody-
trades, right?
yeah, does anybody have a trumpet? My kid's trying to learn how to play, or
Yeah.
like wanting
And
to
they
learn how to play
borrow
trumpet.
or you give?
The people be, oh yeah, I have an old trumpet I'm looking to get rid of, or I'll sell
God, I
you for
love
$20 or whatever,
this.
you know. And so it's like hyper local to like your neighborhood.
Oh,
So
cool.
check it out. Buy nothing.
Yeah, that's I think different than like being on a social Facebook
Yeah,
group
just-
for your
Yeah, yeah.
work,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like that's weird.
I
to
don't know
me.
if it's
Also,
for work.
He's at a
It's
big
just-
company. He said he was at a well-known tech company, but he's got to be at a big company because only big companies have them like extracurricular as groups. It's
Yeah.
because they make people work 60-hour weeks, and they're like, hey, we got to give you some resources to
Something.
connect with
Yeah.
human beings.
This kind of reminds me of like when you have to be delicate about your neighbors. Like you have to be like diplomatic about how you move when it comes to conflict with your neighbors because you are going to have to deal with each other
all the time.
So that's
Ross
where
Andella.
like the going to HR without like just maybe trying to deal with it on your own. And, you know, some commenters were like, well, if you flip the genders, like, you know, you would definitely have a different reaction. But as you were saying, you know, the stakes are different. But I do kind of feel like maybe he should have slept on it a little bit more and thought about it. and-
It was very sloppily handled, and I think that like the first misstep is like once she comes back with the first booty call text, you got to lay it out in plain English because
Yeah.
you're still meeting an increase in aggression with the same level of rejection. And again, I don't agree with that mentality, but once you're getting that first 1:59 a.m. text, that's when honestly, yeah, as soon as you wake up the next morning, hey, appreciate where you're coming from. I realize that maybe I'm not being a little bit direct, but I assure you I'm not a hard to get kind of person.
Yeah.
On policy, I don't date coworkers.
It just sucks
He had
that
a golden
that
ticket.
it gets put on him though, and
It
he
does.
has to
No,
do this
absolutely.
Yeah, he
emotional
didn't do
labor, and
anything
he has to
wrong.
now reject somebody when it's like, oh, I thought we have this policy in place for a reason where so then it
She ain't
doesn't
read
get
the
to this
handbook.
awkward.
She
Girl,
didn't read it.
She ain't read the handbook. She out here trying to get hers. She not worried about no handbook.
Someone did ask that, and he said it's a very well known policy, and copies are hanging up in every break room.
Girl, so is the fire escape plan, and I don't know how to get out this motherfucker. What you mean?
I'm starting to think that this company's
Girl,
actual
goodbye.
policy is like, if you work here, you're gonna be fucking somebody.
You better be ready.
So let's figure out how we do that in the best way possible.
We're just
Right.
gonna, hey everybody, wink.
Yeah.
This is the policy, wink. And the actual policy is you're down to clown. You work at Clown Tech Industries.
It's so
You're gonna be getting into it.
strange. Like, why not
Girl.
just make the policy?
You
Don't
have to
do
fuck
it, or you have
somebody.
to.
Yeah, just don't do it.
Hope you
because
think somebody's hot here because you're gonna be fucking.
Yeah, you actually
what's
have
the turnover
to have
rate
sex with
here?
somebody.
Like,
Yeah.
are people here very long? Because if so, that makes sense. Like,
That-
hey, don't fuck anybody. Everyone we hire. Janine's been here for
Yeah.
20 years. You're not hitting on her. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
But it's like if it's a young like tech and we're turning out
That's
interns and like,
true.
girl, messy is as messy does. Let them be.
True,
But
true.
like
It's
also
like-
protect yourself.
Yeah, because the company is probably like it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So we
It's
sort of like
inevitable.
should
If
have.
it's a really big company, I mean, the
Yeah.
odds aren't.
This
in their
sounds like
favor.
one of those companies where the executives are microdosing ahead of meetings.
Oh, for
you know
sure.
what I mean? Like that.
yes.
For
To
sure.
a startup.
I feel bad for you, dude. You did make some missteps here, and it sucks because you are.
It's
you-
not his fault at all.
You're not
and
the
he
asshole.
got put in such an uncomfortable position, and I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about this. It's like,
I don't think. I don't. Here's the thing. Like, I'm talking about this from the same perspective that I would talk to myself about it. Because I've never been in this exact situation, but I have been in situations in social circles where somebody's making a pass at me and I don't want to hook up with them. So you do try to let them down easy.
Yeah, because it's like someone you're gonna see, or it's a
Yeah,
mutual friend, or
exactly.
it is a friend,
And they
you
take
have
it
to
as
be-
playing hard to get, and it's part of the game.
Yeah.
And it's just not what it is. So I'm speaking a little bit more just of like, oh, it's okay, but yeah, you weren't in the wrong at all, but
Yeah.
everybody thinks
No,
you're the
you
asshole
learn from
now.
experience,
Fuck
though.
these coworkers
Yeah.
though that are all like
Yeah,
now being
conniving
weird
ass.
and being like
That breakout
mean
meeting
to
was
them
definitely a
now.
foursome, and I think that they were actually being pretty thoughtful about that. Of like, well,
About,
Jerry
like,
doesn't want to be
he's
in a
not into
foursome.
it.
He's not into it.
it. Let's cancel
I'm
it.
not mad at Jerry, but
Yeah.
he's definitely not going to want to be in the
No, he
foursome.
for sure will. Yeah, I feel like he's not in the wrong. He's definitely not an asshole
Not
at
at
all.
all.
It's
Oh, no,
just
no,
like
no.
maybe you did like, I don't know. Again,
I kind of feel like it's an end. I feel
Not
like
the
maybe
asshole,
trying to get
but
a new job.
Aren't we all students in the lesson of life? You know, like aren't we all
So
just like
true, Matt.
learning?
maybe
really
an
are.
NTA with an asterisk. Like it's like you're not the asshole.
You're not the asshole, but like you're not without fault because you did misstep. But we're not gonna call you an asshole. I think he
But
sounds
the
like a
only-
sweet guy.
The
I bet
only
he's
real
really sweet.
misstep to me
Is he-
was
he
going
must
to
be cute.
HR about the
Yeah.
coworker over the boss. That's the only thing because I want to see you get some
Yeah.
money out of this.
Yeah, get your coin, King.
Oh, he did also say, let's
That he
see.
did wind up fucking that lady.
Yeah,
Could you
yeah,
imagine?
yeah.
He's like, so I
She
came.
asked me a fifth time, and turns out fifth
you
time's
know.
the
Like,
charm.
all right, she wore me down. Well, it says here, well, my boss's attitude was, why won't you date her? She was like so trying to be a wing woman. She's a great girl, blah, blah. It's like neither of them understand that no is a complete sentence. Again, we're pulling that out. Doesn't help that young and inexperienced people are promoted to managerial and director level positions frequently here. These women are both in their early to mid 20s, and I'm 45.
Whoa,
That
burying
changes
the
yeah,
lead.
Come on,
Yeah.
no, you were giving daddy.
I'm gonna.
You
I'm
were
gonna be
giving
straight
daddy.
up.
Mm.
This sounds like a trap.
Yeah,
Now
girl,
this
they was
sounds
both
like a
trying
trap.
to get you.
I think that they had a
Yeah,
scheme,
they're like, isn't he
knowing
hot?
that piece of the detail. Maybe he is daddy. Maybe this is the daddiest
45
king
is
to.
not that old.
45 isn't old.
okay?
You're
no
not
one
old.
said it was old.
I've been on record with this.
but that's grown, mama. He know what he doing with it.
That's
Hopefully
true.
by then.
I will. I've said it multiple times on camera before, and I'll say it multiple times on camera again. You're not old until you get a massage at the mall, out in the open air. That is when you become old. When you see that massage chair and that person just like, hey, you want a massage out in the open air of the mall?
How do you feel about the
Forget
airport?
AARP.
It's at the
airport,
airport,
same
It's the same.
Okay,
It's,
okay.
Well, no, you know what? I'll give you.
No,
everybody
stand on
can.
business.
If you've been living at the airport for like the last 12 or 16 hours, I'm not going to judge you on that one. But nobody's going to the mall to hit up Kohl's or in the Wetzel's Pretzels, and it's just like today's the day. I'm giving up on life.
Got
Yeah.
my pretzels and needed a massage.
But 45 isn't
But
old.
also, when you're in your early 20s, 45 is old.
Yeah,
Grown.
45 is
the
definitely
teacher
old.
effect.
There's
What?
The teacher effect. He was a
Yes.
grown ass man at work, so maybe. Presumably, I'm gonna say he's cute. I'm saying you're cute.
Yeah.
But let's say it's like he's a coworker and he's grown and it's taboo, girl. You know that's an extra couple points on your scale, and that's why y'all want him so bad.
Yeah.
But don't set him up like that.
But you
put-
think they wanted to set him up to get him fired?
I don't, not maybe to get him fired, but maybe to create a case. I think that
For
they
what,
maybe
though?
had
I feel like they was going for the 3.
That's
The 3
that
3.
might have
They was trying to hit that threesome.
that honestly
more than
that holds
twosome.
more water than what I'm saying.
I'm
Yeah, but it
like,
was
maybe
her
they both wanted him, and she was trying to put her home.
Well,
girl
hold on a
thinking
second.
it was-
Hold on a second. Now the pieces are starting to fall into place. The boss, could never come for her employee.
No.
She couldn't make that swing at all.
So she
But
got
her homegirl could.
homegirl.
Her girl could.
That's what I'm
Gets him out on the date, right? And then, oh my God, this is so random.
Yeah.
But guess who wants to stop
He's
by?
showing up.
Isn't this
Imagine.
so
I didn't
crazy?
even
I don't know.
call
It
her.
feel
That
like
tracks. That I feel like we cracked the code here.
And
There-
the boss is like, come on.
Hey, buddy.
He's cute.
Jerry?
He's flattered.
no one has to know.
I don't know if you're listening to this, Jerry. You did fuck up. You did fuck up.
You
If
might
that
have
was the
fumbled a
plan,
threesome.
You could have had the boss fantasy.
you could have had this man. Look. If that's
what you
if
want.
you're still not interested in that, then I respect that. But I think you're silly. I think this is the
Silly
case of a
goose.
man being dense at this point. If they
Was the man dense? Yeah. Maybe he was too dense and didn't-
NTABD, not the asshole, but
But
dense.
All right, well, that's our final verdict, folks.
Period.
Thank you guys so much for joining me.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for sharing.
We
your
gotta do this one again. This is
story.
fun.
Thank you
So
so
fun.
much, you guys. It's been a true honor.
Love you guys and love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Please rate, review, subscribe.
Subscribe.
And you can watch on YouTube and see our cute little faces. And if you go on YouTube, all of my OG listeners will recognize because we are in Jakey Tuesday's lair.
Back in the fun zone.
Yeah, so you will see some familiar.
You
Kitty
can't really
Woodies.
see
Face.
it in the camera shots, but we have done a ton with the decor in
Oh,
here.
yes, they
It looks
have.
great. It
It
will
looks
look very
gorgeous.
similar to what you're used to seeing, but oh my God, we've really brought this.
Oh, you
place
have
to
no
life.
idea. It's amazing. I'll take some photos. Well, thank you so much for listening. And remember, you can't spell drama without Z.
That's why D is
It's
for
for
drama.
drama.
That's drama with
With
the
the D.
D.
Period.